Hey Nick, it's the title was it would take more than we're prepared to pay, okay, and uh, it would, and it is, and yet when I go through the entire video, the conclusion that I come to is that we'll pay, so we're prepared to pay, and um, I guess I wanted to clarify, at least from my perspective, that we're not prepared to pay. That we, the people of the United States, are in the midst of this great settling of accounts that is mirrored by the situations in Latvia and Iceland and Ireland and others. And it's coming soon to a theater near you. Um, and I've made the analogy before that the global situation with regard to what's going on with the excessive debts for the countries of the world, for the economic democracies of the world, if you will, is analogous as far as we're concerned, to the World Bank or the International Monetary Fund going in and making a loan to, and that is to say, creating a huge amount of debt in a country, that cannot afford to make the payments on the debt. Okay. Now the similarity there: not afford to make the payments on the debt. It's like that third world or developing country or resource rich and an otherwise poor country. Okay. We're going to put enough debt on them so they can't afford to pay it, and then we're going to start to make our demands. And as they do, as the IMF does in those cases, it is the grabbing of the resources, okay? It's the doing away with the public benefits, with the public infrastructure and health education, whatever it is, in terms of welfare, in terms of public resources, and the privatization of all the public resources in those countries, okay? And thereby, enslaving all the people of those countries to produce something out of those resources. Well, that's IMF, World Bank, third world situation. Too much debt, create too much debt, and then enslave the people, is analogous back to, okay, the global financial situation with regard to there's too much debt, and because there's too much debt, we're going to enslave the people. We're going to take away their benefits. We're going to take away their rights. We're going to take away their resources, and the holders of these pieces of paper, this debt paper that's been created, are going to be the ones that are going to be determine, the future well-being of we the people. Well, that is a false premise. We are not going to get out of this by going through there, okay? We're going to get out of this by recognizing the nature of the debts that have been created, okay? I want you to imagine a country where, like the IMF did, okay, somebody could come into a country and start to create debt service obligations, start to create debt service payment streams due, okay, on the people of that country, and do it with impunity, okay, do it without any recourse for the people to be able to say yes or no, we're willing to pay those things. And while you're thinking about that, I want you to think about that's where we're at, okay? And the people that did it were the investment bankers, the global money-powered investment bankers of the world, who went to the Larry Summers School and created the financialization of first the American economy, that is to say, the most and the fastest and to the greatest extent, okay? And then through that, to the world, and created all these funny money thingies, okay? U.S. dollar denominated debt service payment stream obligations known as structured investment vehicles, okay? And in so doing, poisoned the economy of this country and the global economy through creating those fraudulent, essentially, financial structures. Fraudulent in the sense of their viability, their sustainability, their being any relation to anything. Um, the solution, to this problem is to eliminate that debt. It's not to plan to pay it and see what we're going to give up to be able to pay it and take financial money out of our economy for whatever goods we produce. So for whatever goods, we're going to take that money out of our economy and pay those debts. Okay? We are not. Those debt instruments are not going to be paid. And even though right now, the moneyed interests have created trillions of dollars to keep themselves going, trillions of dollars, and change the rules of accounting for those financial instruments. Change the rules of accounting for those financial instruments. And that's what's keeping both the instruments viable and the banks that are holding those instruments viable. Okay, is financial accounting chicanery, and it should be seen to be that. It should be seen to be that that's what it is. And given that we live in a country that we live in a country that relishes its economic freedom and its financial innovation and all of that crap, we allowed this to happen. We had the people in the highest offices of Mr. Greenspan and Mr. Bernanke, and Mr. Geithner and Mr. Summers, all championing this system of financialization, of financial engineering and financial chicanery, and creating all of this debt. And remember, what they did, what we did here with our shadow banking, investment banking side, more than the Federal Reserve, fractional reserve banking side, was to create trillions of dollars of these debt service obligations for which they produced nothing. Nothing. If they produced something, that will be the premium that they will get upon the settlement of these terms. So we're not going to pay it. We're not going to pay it. And we're going to preserve every degree of our well-being, okay? Our ability to work, our ability to shelter ourselves, and our ability to maintain ourselves. That is going to, and to have the social infrastructure of health and education. That's what we're going to get, okay? That's what we're going to get. And their premium will be for whatever it is that they've created that has value. And that needs to happen, okay? That's the elimination of that debt out of the equation of the debts that need to be repaid, okay, is what needs to happen and is going to happen. That's what's going to happen. That's going to begin, by the way, with Latvia and with Iceland and with Ireland. And we need to come to their aid. We need to come to their aid and make sure that that their losses are tolerable to the people, to the degree that the people were responsible or not, and they were not. So, great topic, and it would take more than we're prepared, because because what it would take was created falsely. It was created falsely, and we're not going to pay those false debts. Thanks.